Good day to everyone out there listening to episode 1 of the Australian Sporting Cartel podcast. I hope you are enjoying this beautiful Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever you're listening to this. I am here and I am joined with Luke White, the Parmigiana Playboy. How you going, mate?
I'm going very well. How are you?
We're good. Let's crack it. It's not a twist top. We had this idea that when we started when we were going through the intro of the first episode, we'd both crack our beers, and mine obviously isn't a twist top, so disappointing. But you know what? I can always just go and grab another one.
One in three chance.
You know what? I'll let you take the mic here and just give yourself a little introduction to all our listeners out there.
Oh, Mitch. So, as my good buddy Lux Mango has said, we are the Australian Sporting Cartel. Well, 2/3 of the Australian Sporting Cartel. We were formerly Halftime Oranges, and we've decided that we need to bring our awesome sporting ideas to all available platforms. YouTube, Spotify, and whatever else that people put podcasts and shit.
No, you pretty much summed it up there. You did a good job.
So yeah, we're sitting here grand final day.
Yeah, man.
Pretty amped. A lot of anticipation, and it's an appropriate time to crack a beer on grand final day.
Speaking of which, yeah, absolutely. That's that was clean. You can actually hear the fizzle. It's amazing. Cheers. Cheers to you. Okay, this will be the first beer of many. So I'm not sure how many I'll get through by the end of the day, but drink responsibly, of course. I know it's a big day for rugby league fans and sports fans alike around Australia. This is pretty much it. I mean, if you count the Pacifica, and it's not the end of the season, but when it comes to club duties, this is the pinnacle. This is the final day of the season. And I am so excited because I think you were saying it as well. This is going to be the greatest grand final of all time.
I believe so. Yeah, I do believe so. I think if you look at the NRL era and you look at, the Penrith team that we have right now, you've got, I reckon, the most impressive lineup that Bellamy's had versus a team that's been unstoppable for half a decade.
100%, yeah.
And they have played each other during the season, but this is the grand final. This is 80 minutes.
This is a different beast.
When you have 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 1 and 1 even playing each other in the game of games, then you can't help but go, this is going to be fucking epic.
Well, this is the prophesized grand final. You've got the team over the last 20 years that we have all hated. Guarantee every person has hated Melbourne purely because it's a little bit. Yeah, a lot of it is
sick of them winning.
It's Paul Poppy syndrome.
Sick of them winning.
But it's now they're going up against a team that we all hate now, that is setting the standard for what a dynasty is in terms of rugby league in the modern game. They are it's a juggernaut. No team since '98 has made 5 consecutive grand finals. Teams have gotten close, gotten very close, but no one has achieved.
Melbourne had a streak of 4 at one point, didn't they?
They only hit 4. They never actually got to 5. So.
Well, they might have in 10 if Gallup didn't fuck them over with...
I just wouldn't say fucking them over. Do the crime, do the time. They did it.
I mean...
That's great. One wooden spoon more than Manly. I'm a Manly fan out there, if anyone that doesn't know. If you watch the videos, you would know. Very vocal about that. I bleed the maroon and white.
There won't be Manly bias on this podcast or channel, but there will be some definite love for the maroon and white.
I'd never let that bias get in the way of, my opinions. I don't let bias sway me one way or another. I've made that pretty obvious.
But you are a Manly fan, and one would go as far to say that Melbourne, over the course of the last 20 seasons, have had a couple of periods where there was a clear rival. And I would say from the sort of 2006-ish 7 season onwards, it was Manly.
I was.
Being a Roosters fan, we've come in at the back end. There was a grand final that we, destroyed them in, but
that was
there's
so good.
Been a lot of back and forth, and now Penrith are
another team in the ranks.
They're the setter standards. They set the standards now. Like for what makes
They're the measuring
teams
stick.
so good.
They will be the measuring stick
Yeah.
for a long time.
Like imagine that in the next couple of years, it doesn't matter if someone goes back to back, even 3. If they win today, the next team that goes back to back to back, it's going to look. It's not going to look as important in comparison, is it? Because when someone achieves that level of success, it kind of polarizes the game a little bit, and not that it doesn't make it entertaining, but I think as a fan, you view it from a completely different perspective.
We like to look at comparables when comparing best teams, best coaches, best players, etc. And up until the 2019 season, no team had gone back to back in the NRL era. Period.
Nah.
So when the Roosters went back to back, that was something that put them in a class of their own. Now it lasted for one season. That's okay. One season. We were the first.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Well, yeah.
Penrith have done something, and depending, regardless of the outcome today, all right, they've done something that I do not believe we will see many more times, if at all, in our lifetime. I genuinely believe that, because I think the competition is so competitive, and the window that you have to be in a position to achieve that feat, and let alone do it, it's very small.
100%.
So they're the measuring stick now.
They're the, and looking at the game right now, in terms of modern athletics, you won't see players fitter, better, stronger than some of the players in that Penrith squad. The system that they have come through is unbelievable.
They've got the
when it
best
comes to
juniors
they've
in
got
the comp.
Exactly, like Fisher Harris, Leota, Lenu, like they came through. Critter, Toto Cleary. Cleary is a fucking strong halfback.
Crichton, Katoa,
Oh my
Burton,
god, Burton,
Luai.
Kickow. No, did Kickow come through the Penrith?
No,
Yeah,
he was
North Queensland.
he got scouted from Queensland, but I don't know at what age. Right?
No, he was definitely playing NYC for the Cowboys around 2016.
So it's interesting, right?
100%. Like the modern athleticism from this Panthers side is incomparable to any other team we've seen in the modern era in terms of like skill. We are watching in the background. We've got the Fox League on.
Kyle Phelps
Coverage.
just
just
became daddy to Ben Hunt again. Oh wow! What a
Jason
coach's
Demetriou,
box.
yeah, I know.
Paul Green, John
JD,
Cartwright,
John
Demetriou.
Cartwright. Rest in peace, Paul Green as well.
Jesus, you forget. Isn't it funny when you catch a replay like this? You go back and you look at who's in the box, and then you fast forward a decade, and
I could be wrong. I think Stephen Carney was in the box of the Broncos that day. I could be wrong. I did watch it the other day, but yeah, look at that. What a litany of tactical genius right there. I mean, maybe not so much Demetriou, but Cardi. You had Paul Green.
I'm looking at this. I am prepared to say that if this try is scored in 2024, Trashley Klein or whichever knob in the bunker is going to find the reason to call that obstruction.
Knock on or something. Yeah, 100%.
He prevented an opportunity to defend.
We're going to the bunker for review here. There is clear separation from Kyle Fount's hands on the ball. We have a knock on. We have a decision. Fucking stupid, man. That's the game. And we're going to talk about this as we go along.
Oh, yes. It will become a common theme. It'll unite all league fans, just how shit the officiating is, has, and always will be.
I just think it's the nitpicking in the game now. From a referee's perspective, like it's the tiny things. I've always said you don't ref the game in slow-mo. Phil Gould says it all the time, and he's 100% dead on. You can't ref the game in slow-mo.
I have an unpopular... I agree with that, and I think it's stupid. I don't think they should be able to do it that way. I have an unpopular... Well, maybe not an unpopular opinion here, but when I watched this game live, when I saw Thurston in the lead-up to this, I was like, this guy's concussed. He's off. He got hit in the head.
He looked wacko.
And it's crazy. We're literally just talking about, 2015 grand final versus now. If this is in today's game, he's off for an HIA. He's not even...
Do you reckon?
100%.
Wow.
100%. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I want to say it was either in that set or in the lead up to it. He looked like he'd been...
He looked a bit dazed.
He was wobbly, man. He didn't have his wits about him. And
but you're not going to take in the last second of a grand final. your main guy, your main halfback, your standard kicker, you're not going to take him off for an HIA.
It doesn't
before he
matter
takes
now.
Who's taking that conversion?
Birdie, the
Can you imagine-
independent doctor, doesn't give a fuck about
imagine-
that.
Can you imagine? Kyle Felt steps in, takes a conversion, fucking nails it. Thurston's not the hero.
Thurston's not
He's
the
not the
hero.
hero.
Ben
Michael
Hunt's
Morgan's
not the
hero.
meme.
Kyle Felt's the hero. Ben Hunt's not the meme. And this is another common theme that will be addressed later on as we go through some of the episodes. It's like, what ifs? What are some potential scenarios? Like, what are some butterfly effects in rugby league that could have happened if some other event had occurred? You're right. There's the intercept in 2021, Crichton. What if Kyle Felt takes that kick? What if Ben Hunt doesn't knock on? What if Cherry Evans goes to the Titans? So many what ifs. Still.
Well, now, see,
Well, the Titans aren't winning a premiership.
Jesus
Not-
Christ.
not
You're
in my
You're
lifetime.
talking about butterfly effect options, and then you're saying Jerry Evans going to the Titans.
Well, he was almost going to go. That's a fact. He
Yeah,
backflipped.
but neither team have done anything successful after the backflip. I think Manly made a grand final. Or was that after 13?
Didn't. Yeah, unlucky that we were phasing out. We lost out some of our best players.
Hasn't changed the course. I like the path
You
that you're on,
don't
though.
know that. No, I'm not saying Manly would have won
Melbourne
a fucking
don't-
grand final.
Melbourne don't get stripped of points for 2010 to play for.
They probably win 22.
Canterbury.
Do they beat the Dragons?
Canterbury in 2002, 2003, they aren't stripped of all their points. Those
Pat Richards doesn't play in the grand final with a broken leg. We don't see
mean-
the flick pass. I don't know who is going to be on Benji's outside.
my substitute wingers for the Tigers 2005 team. It's there's not a lot up there, mate.
No, it's like Daniel Fitzhenry and Pat Richards. I can't think of a single other.
Maybe
the
Tim
winger.
Moulton gets a game. I don't know if
Even
he's
there. At the,
I don't
fuck,
remember.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't blame you. Look, I'm a rugby league analyst. I'm a statistician. I'm a supercomputer, and even I can't tell you who the backup winger was for the Tigers in the 2005 season.
Also, I will say though, back then there wasn't as much spotlight on the below competitions. That's one thing I think it's been quite interesting. As the game's evolved over the last 20 years, is that you now have far greater optics on who's coming through the pathways in the junior ranks of your teams, because you look at the Penrith Juniors team 10 years ago, you've got Luai and all these people in there.
Yeah.
Edwards.
So crucial though
So I think
to the development of not only those players, but the players coming after them as well.
100%.
Those young Penrith players, they're going to want to emulate someone like a Luai or a Cleary, because the way that Penrith play now, it's like family. It's like they are family.
Yeah.
They're so tight knit, and they've developed under this real strict but disciplined but also friendly environment that allows them to flourish at their own pace and to go and to use their talents alongside their brothers. It's huge.
for a game that is often thought of from a very selfish perspective, which I don't have a problem with, but money, accolades, representative opportunities, championship opportunities.
Yeah.
It seems to me that the Penrith team in particular is very communal, almost a family element to it. Now, I don't know if that's got a lot to do with the close brotherhood that the boys had formed
would
coming
be-
through the
it-
ranks,
it'd be a
whether it's
factor.
religion, whether it's Ivan Cleary, all of the above,
I can just, from a fan perspective, I just see it as a bunch of mates that want to play footy together. There's nothing better than going out to the local park and just kicking the ball around with your mates. We've all done it before. And to do that on a professional level, it changes the dynamic completely.
Yeah.
You have to be professional. In today's game, you're right, with all the money, contracts, sponsorships, press conferences, different ball game. It's not the same, but you still enjoy it regardless. Nonetheless, you are still out there doing the core principle of what you grew up doing, playing football with your mates.
I looked at when the Dolphins came into the competition as a measuring stick to sort of see where is the priorities of the elite players, right? Cameron Munster, it came out that the Dolphins offered substantially more money than Melbourne. Like it was laughable. I don't know an exact figure, but if you read and things, you heard that it was floated as high as 1.6 million a year. And he stayed with Melbourne
Yeah, man.
because he wanted to win premierships.
want the premiership,
He's still probably their highest paid player, I would
I think so. Yeah, 100%.
guess. But
And he's elite level as well. This man, I'm not sure what he's on now, but He's your million dollar player.
I think he's.
He's got to be.
I think Melbourne.
5'8". Like,
I'm not too sure how they opt with their third-party payments. I know that
green book under the desk.
a club like Melbourne is going to have far greater opportunities than the Tigers. Let's call it what it is, right? No one's going to Balmain because of their third-party opportunities. The Roosters, the Broncos, the Storm, the big clubs, the elite clubs, the clubs that don't necessarily need a salary cap to function. They're the ones who can offer players like this perfectly legal and within the laws of the game opportunity. Yeah, I don't know what Melbourne's is like, but I would imagine that Munster, regardless of his salary, is going to be a priority guy for them long term.
For the next however long. 100%.
We been speaking a lot of footy, particularly in the lead up to getting this podcast off the ground. And one of the things that I keep circling back to is Craig Bellamy's had teams and grand final teams winning and losing with multiple immortals.
Yeah.
Slater, Smith, Cronk, possibly Inglis, etc.
Doesn't make you invincible. You play as a team. There's still other people there. You remember when Cameron Smith missed out in the 08 grand final?
The Melbourne Storm team that are going to play today, right? I don't know if anyone in that squad is an immortal. Too early to tell. I think the only person playing the game I could say comfortably is going to get the immortal tag at the moment is Cleary.
But 100%. Out of everyone from both teams, Cleary is setting. He's on a new level.
And we're not saying that he needs to be an immortal today, but it's like you look at what he's done. You look at
he's 26. Yeah. Like it's fucking ridiculous to think about what he's achieved. Like what he's still got to achieve. You can throw around.
It's brilliant.
Throw out opinions like he hasn't done it in Origin or he's never won a Dally M. I don't think that's indicative of what Cleary is. Cleary's built on hard work. Cleary has come so far. He's so important to that team. He's so important for himself to grow as a player as well. Like he has developed such character over the last few years. We're watching the next game that's actually on the Fox League broadcast. This is the 2020 grand final. If you remember this, Nathan Cleary, shocker of a first half. Shocker. Looked confused, disjointed, threw an intercept pass to Vunivalu. His kicking game, short kicking game, just wasn't.
He was 21 at this time.
He was 21. Holy fuck, man, that's crazy. That's how old I was, I think, when this grand final came out. 5 years flies by, doesn't it? Holy fuck, you don't think about it. The last time that we hadn't seen Penrith in a grand final was before I had actually met you.
Yeah.
It's the last time. It was 2019, Roosters Raiders.
Yeah.
And the last time that I haven't seen Penrith lift the trophy was 4 or 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Time flies. And it's very interesting to look back on these games and see who's missing from today's squad or who's the omissions. I don't think Matt Burton played in this game, but you see there, like Bromwich, the Bromwich brothers, they ain't there. Kafusi, he's gone. Cameron Smith. They had Coruscant, Mansour. Josh Mansour was playing on the wing.
Jeez, is that Branko Lee?
I think it is. Yeah, you're right.
My goodness.
Wow. And you had your captain for Penrith, James Tarmo, the Easter Islander. Holy shit.
He was the
that Will Chambers as well. Oh my goodness.
That is absolutely
Will Chambers.
Jerome Hughes is there though.
Yeah, he's still there.
Current Dally.
Haps. Munster, they've got the Fab Three were there. No Grant. This is before.
Was this? I'm pretty
Grant's
sure Grant was
season.
at the Tigers.
Yeah, he was. That was when he won Rookie of the Year. That was the year. Fucking hell.
With old, Captain Cameron there.
Oh, the Fox. Unbelievable. Olam, Fox, like fucking hell, man.
I can't remember.
The strike power. It was a penalty try. It was a penalty try. I'm pretty sure because that's Tyrone May. Kicks the ball. He kicked at Olam's arm, kicked at the ball, penalty try.
That's right.
Yeah. He fucking knows it. Fox knows it.
He's celebrating like he's celebrating on the Colombian party dust a little bit early. How you doing, bruh? But I want to circle back, and I just want to say that, like, my point I was making is that this Craig Bellamy team could be the most impressive one in terms of the way they've played. They,
as a team,
NRL
100%.
360 ripped them apart earlier this week about how most of the players on their roster are not grand final caliber or are not considered elite players, and it's just fascinating to me because, obviously Cleary was injured, and there was quite a few roller coaster-ish performances for the big teams this year. Melbourne have been consistently the best, in my opinion.
That's Tino as well.
The last game that they lost, where you're like, was the Dragons, right?
But it's like you can't go through it. Unless, even if you are such a good team, you're gonna have blips. Some other team's gonna show up, and they wanted a little bit more, and I think the Dragons wanted it more that day. But consistently this year, that Storm squad is as good as I've ever seen them play. And it doesn't matter if they don't have grand final caliber players. I think they do. You still players that have played in the grand final. Hughes, Pappy, Munster. It's Fab 3. They've fucking been there. They know what it's like. Everyone's saying they don't stand a chance. That's ridiculous.
They're the favourites for me, not by much.
I think they are the favourites, actually. But there's, like, same with, if you listen to people listen to the experts, in quotation marks, on NRL 360, say they're not up for it. They're not up for the task. Bullshit. They're ready. The way that they've played this year, it's just indicative of what Melbourne is, and it's the Bellamy system. Just complete your sets, back each other up, hit the line, try something a little bit new, and it's just what we're going to see today, I think. But I think it's going to come from both. We're going to see some of the best football that's ever played, and there is some grand finals you watch that are a little bit droll, a little bit boring.
2022.
Yeah. Then you got like grand finals that showcase how good players were at the time. 2005. We will do a grand final, top 5 grand finals at some point. But the one grand final that I think showcased the skill of our game is 2005. A lot of steps, flick passes, interesting plays. It was great football. And I think we're in for something like that today, albeit a lot closer game than 2005. If you don't remember, that was the Tigers Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't care much for the flick pass anymore. I don't.
Wow.
It's
Just change. I think
it's been saturated. Like, it was great. It was a bit of brilliance.
because no one was doing it before Benji. He had the occasional flick. No one was doing the shit that he did.
To me,
He revolutionized it.
what Cleary did last year, far more impressive.
100%. Yeah. Would you rather someone to do that or someone that pulls out a flick pass? Everyone was frothing Ezra last year when he did that little round the front to Reynolds. I was like, who's this guy? What the fuck? Is this fucking... Is Benji's back?
Behave.
I'm speaking very loosely. I understand.
No. He. Oh,
it's Vunivalu, man.
did he just kick someone in the
He
head?
fucking kung fu kicked him in the chest.
That,
Go Edwards, get him.
That's
you
not fine
just
anymore.
want. Oh, you just wish Edwards got there. You wish he did. I love Dylan Edwards.
That's
He was out of his element there. He was the whole game.
that's not a try today, surely.
No way, Klein. Not under Klein's 1984 rules. You'd see they'd give it 2 minutes later.
Oh yeah. It's the glitch in the Matrix.
glitch in
Look
the-
at the screen. I can't believe he just kicked someone in the head.
That's crazy. Who was it? Was it
think-
Tyrone May?
I think it was Tyrone May, yeah.
Couldn't have found a better bloke.
Just a parting gift for that.
little weasel.
Yeah.
You weasel.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting grand final.
It was a great game of footy.
Yeah, it's grand final day. We'll talk about things grand final related. It's the big day, man.
All right, let's do a couple of predictions. What we think's going to happen for the grand final today. I'm going to start. I think Melbourne win.
Score.
I'm going to say 21-18.
Cool.
I think there'll be a field goal and then
Bit of an odd score, isn't that?
Yeah, there'll be the field goal and then there'll be some kind of off the kickoff, or Penrith will try to do a short kick together and then they'll just hit a 2-pointer.
Something a little quirky, Yep.
Your
Pappenhausen 2-pointer just nails it.
I think the Clive Churchill will go to either Jerome Hughes or Harry Grant. I think Penrith will be competitive, but they'll just fall short.
Battle of attrition.
I think it'll be really interesting. assuming this comes to be setting the scene for next year, and I'm not just talking about the fact that games are played in Vegas. That doesn't really interest me, but you know,
Not if my teams aren't playing.
people are so accustomed to Penrith being in the grand final now that it's like, you know, what's gonna happen next year? They're losing more players. They're gaining. They've made a few good signings, but each year they're just a little less dominant.
It's just what Penrith do, though. They rebuild, they
Well, that's what they've
reset, they
done.
restructure.
That's what they've
do.
done.
Yeah.
But they're losing James Fisher-Harris,
Huge players.
Jerome Luai.
Yeah.
They're losing Taruva,
Yeah.
who
They try machine.
scores.
He's still
You
reliant.
take all these tries off, there's probably a few
Fucking
games they
hell.
don't win.
100%. Okay, the Eels game. He scored two or three tries that day.
That was
Goes in the corner.
That's unbelievable.
We still talk about it to this day. Shocking.
Is it too much to ask for a finish like that?
I'd love it.
But yeah, and my one, like, it would be awesome moment is if Nick Meaney either gets the Clive Churchill or the
Winning goal or something. From the sideline, just hooks it.
little bit of recognition. I'm definitely not a Nick Meaney fanboy, but I just think he's the
Man.
most underrated player
Preach it.
in rugby league at the moment.
Tell me how you really feel.
He's never given props. He's never, you know,
He's never given the credit, isn't he?
he's never the guy, but
Because it's where he
he's-
came from, man.
He's
Like,
so consistent, and
Yeah.
you know, the fact, like, when we were watching the Dally M's earlier in the week, like when it came to Centre of the Year, you know, even though he wasn't nominated, I was like, nah, I had him with Crichton. I think he's been brilliant the last, ever since he's been at Melbourne, really. So yeah, those are my
I had
predictions and wishes for
Farnworth fever.
the grand final.
I like it. No, I really like those predictions. I think, people come out with some bold shit, but I think you're being quite realistic. I think it's very realistic that could happen. I think Melbourne will win it, but I think the Clive Churchill medal will go to someone on the losing side. I think it could go to someone like Fisher Harris or like dare I say it, Mitch Kenny. I'm a Mitch Kenny fan. I am a fan of how Mitch Kenny plays. I think it'll be 26-18. Be very close. I think it'll be like 20-18 in the last like 2 minutes, and then Melbourne will score the game sealing try. It'll be a Pappenhausen round the back, maybe a cutout pass in the corner. Xavier Coates, let's go. Put a bet on it. Speaking of bets, we do have to. We got our grand final multi this year. If you want to enlighten our viewers with what you might be picking, if you had to pick your four-leg multi for the grand final, what do you go for? Bet responsibly, please. And we're not advocating for this. But,
Melbourne head to head, under 40 points. Cleary
Cameron
anytime.
Smith to score.
Nah,
We should have done that 4 years ago.
I don't typically bet on grand finals because then I look at the game differently.
Yeah, because you want things to happen. You want the outcomes, and
Just-
it's not the same, is
I
it?
just want to sit back and enjoy. I'll bet on the UFC. I got Alex Pereira by
Yeah, cool.
knockout today.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be great.
I don't bet on grand finals.
Ah, man, I know. I think it's a
It's funny though.
respectable thing to say.
At the start of the year, I did put a futures multi on that had Penrith to win the comp.
Oh, yeah.
There was a couple other things that didn't come through, but it was like I've flip-flopped since then.
Oh, we all have that. I put a futures multi on Chelsea to win the Premier League a few years ago. I'm pretty sure they came like 8th or something. Shat the bed. Then I think I put Leeds the year that they got relegated. I put Leeds, put like $10 on Leeds.
Leeds.
It's bold. You never know when another Leicester's coming. You never know. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely valid point. And it's a good little segue to sort of tie the bow on this grand final chinwag, and that is that whilst it is Rugby League Grand Final Day and we are rugby league nerds and fans, there will be
That's true.
other sports that not only we're passionate about, but you people want us to give insight on.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what the Australian sporting cartel's about.
Coming into cricket season, the baggy green is...
You put your baggy green on.
But
You get the Cane Train shirt. Up the Cane Train, let's go. Big fan.
you know, we're big fans of the Premier League. You know, there's the NBA, there's other obscure sports. There's
Love the
anything
AFL.
that Australians are doing well in. like the UFC, for example. So we will
Go the Volk man.
tend to stick to some rugby league level stuff, but it is the end of the season. You never know. I mean, we could find ourselves sitting here in the middle of summer in our test whites
Speedos,
and
little Warnie zinc right on the nose.
watching Australia do battle with the
We haven't fucking beaten
The
India
Indians.
in eons. It's been that long. I'll
didn't we
use
fuck 'em up?
eons. No, we didn't.
I can remember.
I think 2014-15 was 10 years ago was the last time we beat them.
What was the year Pat Cummins decimated them in Australia?
He decimated them. We didn't win the series.
Yeah, right.
Didn't even win the series that year. We got...
Oh, well, I'm telling you right now, India are not winning shit.
That's when we didn't have David Warner. We had fucking not Bancroft. We had who was opening our fucking batting?
Cameron Bancroft should. I don't
That's
like him.
not a fan of.
No.
You know who I want to see open? Matt Renshaw.
Yep.
Love him.
Agreed.
Hey, he's a gun.
Agreed.
Gun. Get Josh Brown in there as well. He'll smack some Bumrah bounces. He'll fucking launch them.
Agreed.
He's a goat. Big Bash is going to be fantastic as well.
Big Bash is going to be great. We're going to
Who's-
do.
Who's going to win the Big Bash?
I don't know until I see the teams. It'd be real easy to say Perth or Brisbane. They seem to do
they're the
well.
best
Or
teams.
Sydney. But
Sydney, it's Sixers heat. Scorchers.
I am a
They give
Cane.
the Thunder.
I am part of the Cane train. I do
Me
go
too.
for the Hobart Hurricanes.
It's good to see us both find common ground. I think it's the first team we both mutually support together. So let's go. Who have we got coming up? Who have we got in the ranks?
I'm a big fan of Paddy Dooley. I hope
Yeah.
he's going to suit up again.
The
Dooley.
windmill man. His action's fucked. So good to watch. He's mesmerizing.
He's a character.
He's great. isn't he? Yeah.
He's far better than Hatzoglu, that double agent.
He's the Greek god. Man, pulling out some good.
I was called
the
him
googlies, man.
Spazoglu, man. Dooley's got a little bit of the. Dooley's got the
He's got the
riz.
deception. Yeah, he's got the bowling riz.
Hatzog-
Hatzoglu, like he's licking his lips.
He was tears, bro. It
Ugly.
was all
And
tears.
he's got very tears. Good. He's got big tears energy. Love it. I still love him. He's Greek. I'm Greek myself. Best Greek players ever to play rugby league.
But yeah, we'll be
Next
We'll be
list.
diving balls deep into the Big Bash.
We sure will be.
Possibly even potentially getting out to a fixture. Maybe when Hobart come to the G, it might be worth a little excursion.
Or even spotless. I'm fine with either.
Nah, I don't like the Thunder. I'd rather watch it at home.
Exactly. No one supports the Thunder. It's like the GWS of the Big Bash. Tin pot. I mean, you can't call them tin pot. What figures? What
You
viewing
lost the
figures
ball,
you-
Moses. Get angry all
Challenge
you
it,
want, mate.
Oh, no,
You
challenge
lost
it,
the
please.
ball.
Challenge it. Yeah, he ain't. He's challenging.
no.
Oh, I've never let a front row challenge. See, this is why. And you know what? From this resulting scrum, Pappenhausen. This is where he blitzed him. I'm pretty sure. What a great fucking try this was. This is up there with some of my favourite grand final tries when he just cuts in.
Finucane. He's another one that
Dale Finucane, man.
he retired.
Nas playing lock. Interesting. Don't think he could do that now, could he? Yeah, Finucane. Yeah, retirees.
He's got to be on the field to be able to be in a position.
Yeah, well,
Trying to kill Lindsay
Not gonna
Collins
happen.
is a great way to ensure you don't play grand final footy.
I think it's ridiculous. I don't think he should have been banned.
I do.
Sorry, no. It's your first hit up of the fucking game,
And
dude.
he took
First
Collins
hit up
out.
of the game. There's no malicious intent to
Australian
hurt
prop.
Collins.
It doesn't matter. Contact to the head.
If Collins doesn't play the ball, if Collins doesn't play the ball backward, does Nas get the same punishment?
Jared Hargraves, who is a far more celebrated player in the competition, had weaker shots on other opposition and missed almost 10 weeks of the season. Nelson can fucking sit on the sidelines.
Oh, Pappenhausen. Holy fuck. Look how quick he is. This is pre-meniscus shatter, Pap. This was clap those balls in. That's who it was. What a freak.
I
He's a
think-
gun. I love him, man. I
think-
wish he played Origin.
I think the Mohawk mullet is far better than the dirty
Yeah,
mullet that he's
I
got
don't
now.
like the Joe Dirt he's got now. I love that lockdown mullet. That's a
good
that's a
dude.
lockdown mullet. It's like the one I had. Not as beautiful, but not as elegant.
But yeah, no, man, I'm sorry. I'm going to call that shit out. I think Nelson got exactly what he deserved. And,
Roosters bias showing.
well, no.
Nah, look, you know what? I agree. Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 games. 4 games. Fucking hell. And I think, you know what the judiciary actually said? This is where they fucked up. They said that due to the fact that, due to Nelson's size and his position as a prop forward, his force, he had a lot more force, less mitigating force than a fucking back rower would. You're not telling me someone like Hamuli Olakawatu or fucking Leniu isn't hitting Collins as fucking hard as Nas there. That's ridiculous. That's prop shaming. On the Levels Network, if you listen to Levels Network, that's what Justin Horro and Willie Mason was saying. That's Nas shaming. Nasty shaming. Yeah, I'll rip on him because he's fucking 130 kilos. Like,
I mean,
there's some back rowers that would hit twice as hard.
you're trying to apply logic to the governance of rugby league,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
not
just
gonna happen, is it?
It's just wasting your breath. We may as well save our fans and anyone listening to this the bleeding ears. But I think it's
You're very diplomatic on this. I love it.
nah, fuck them.
Right.
I think most fans look, and this is a really good point to unify us all on. No matter what colours you wear Thursday through Sunday, we're all rugby league fans, and I think most of us are going to sit there and say, at one point or another, we feel hard done by or completely and utterly let down by inept and arrogant officiating.
100%.
The fact that Ashley Klein has the whistle
will
today,
ring that in.
I am apprehensive because he's just an arrogant fuckhead on the football pitch. And, is he going to let this be a grand final? And you might sit there and go, geez, he refed great in the grand final. Why can't you do that in round 4 on a Friday night? Why you got to be a micromanaging little weasel?
I fucking hate the way that they dictate certain rules based on how important the game is. Fuck that shit.
and
it's not how you ref the game.
There might be
By
there might be
points.
people that say, well, it's not just him. Why are you singling him out? And it's simple. He's refed over 400 games.
many origins
From
does he
game
have?
1 to
Fucking-
now, he hasn't done any better. And you listen to the way that he talks to the players, there's a sense of like he wasn't good enough to be a footy player, whether he tried out to be or not.
But even-
and he just he's in control and he's
Too small.
an asshole. Like Adam G had a good year. Jared Sutton had a great
Adam
year.
G should get the
The
grand final.
Shermanator, Todd Smith
Yeah.
had a not
Ah, I'd rather have Sutton or G. They're my top. They're my top picks.
and I'd like us to go to a point in time where we don't have a referee on the field. There's just a
AI.
massive
Just
siren.
fucking-
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, get off the fuck. Oh, I didn't hear held.
Imagine how the Bulldogs fans in the crowd react. Little fucking chappies walking off with the match ball. Fucking water bottles. They start chirping and get a hacker in there. Fucking hell, man.
I hope he doesn't ruin what we both think, and I'm sure
The
there's
greatest game of all.
a few people out there, as neither of us being Penrith or Melbourne fans, potentially
neutral,
the best game of footy we've ever seen. Like,
I'd love it. Don't care who wins. I want to see some good football.
yeah, me too. Anyway, I'm going to crack another beer and
100%.
catch you on the other
Enjoy
side,
this.
mate.
Catch you later. If everyone enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, give a follow, and give your thoughts on the grand final. Whether you're watching it after or whether you're watching it before, let us know what you want us to talk about next. Until then, see ya.